My doctor says that I have a condition. And he didn't say it with a smile on his face. He said, Holden, if you're going to take a rest day, you have to commit to it. Today's poll day, and it is not Monday. The reason being, got a text from my mother this morning, and she said, I'm in the gym all by myself, baby steps. All right. How is that not motivation for anybody to get up and get some stuff done? Also, I do the push-pull leg split, which is, years from now is going to be looked at as old-fashioned. To me, it's just simple, so I've just stuck with it since I was in maybe sophomore year of college. But it's worked pretty well. But one thing that I saw is that if you are doing your push days the day before your leg days, then what's going to happen is your back is going to get worked so much that your leg days are actually going to suffer from that. So I'm going to add my rest day tomorrow between my leg day to hopefully give myself a better shot at growing my legs a little bit more. But yeah. Video is not sponsored by Ghost. I know what you guys are thinking. Whoa. It's his third video, and he's gotten a whopping 15 views, and Ghost has already sponsored him? Not exactly. They messaged, but I just didn't respond. One might say I ghosted them. But today we got just Ghost for caffeine, and then I've got one of the non-stim CBum pump ready-to-drink formulas, which I love. It kind of hits my glycerol, as well as like the beta-alanine. Like, this isn't going to have much in it, but it's just going to wake me up. Oh. But yeah. The first real pull day. I like to start off with some good old assisted pull-ups to warm up, and then I've transitioned to some weighted pull-ups, and do a lot of rows, and then do a lot of bicep curls. I kind of forget that the first pull day didn't get through the final stages of development. So today is going to be the first real pull day, and I'm kind of excited because last pull day I was like, oh shit, I'm not strong. But luckily, I've slept well. I've been hitting my protein by a mile. Today we weighed in at 170, or not, 172 on flat. Yesterday I was 172.8. So I would like to say that like I ate like not a lot towards the evening, or maybe I didn't drink a lot of water. But honestly, I've been keeping it kind of the same. So, but I have put myself in kind of an extreme deficit. Not to stay that way, but there's a system of figuring out your metabolic rate, which is to weigh yourself every day, eat exactly the same amount of calories every day, weigh yourself at the same time every day, say like in the morning before you eat. That's kind of the best time. That's kind of the standard. Weigh yourself every day, track the average. If, let's say, you're eating 2,000 calories for 7 days, you lose a pound. All right, well, you know that you were in a 500 calorie deficit for the week, and that your metabolic rate, if you do the days the kind of the same way that you were doing, you're going to be burning about 2,500 calories a day. That's your maintenance calories. So I know all of that, and so I'm doing this deficit, but instead of like guessing, and hoping that I'll lose a pound. I just want to start losing weight quick. So I just kind of put myself, I'm eating 1750 right now, which is, I know that's too low, but at least it will be low. I can still do all the math. I can still do all the calculations, but I will have lost more weight. And then I can raise my calories up to what I need to be eating. It'll feel like I'm getting to eat more. So I'm kind of excited to see how that turns out. I don't have any like firm answers because I haven't tracked my calories and weight in so long that, like, if I were to try to tell you my metabolic rate at 172, the last time I did it, I was like 160. So we bulked 20 pounds. I know everybody's gonna be, bro, why aren't you just bulking? You're less than 200 pounds. Just bulk. Just get up. Just bulk for 2 years. Some of you guys, most people watching this, because I'm below average height, don't understand that there is no way in hell that I could possibly get to 200 pounds and be lean. It's just not gonna happen. I barely made it to 180. However, maybe in the future. I mean, like, trust me, we got goals, but that's crazy. 200 pounds at my height without, any kind of PED. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon, but that's kind of the fun of it. If I could do that tomorrow, then I wouldn't do that because, I mean, the whole point is not to just sit here and, the whole point is waking up and doing something that's hard. So that's kind of the idea. But yeah, let's see. Let's get back on track with the pull day. Assisted pull-ups, rows, biceps. I mean, there you go. That's kind of just a bunch of variations. I will say that I'll do some upright rows. People, for whatever reason, hate those too. I like it because it feels good on my shoulder. Feels good. It's an extra workout for my shoulder to help them grow, because you can work your shoulders so much. They're so small and they recover pretty quick. They're like biceps. Another thing about adding a rest day between my pull days and my leg days is I could potentially do some upper body stuff on my leg days. More like, I should say, biceps on my leg days to help them grow. That would be kind of sweet. But yeah, upright rows and abs today. We'll do abs today. Might walk a little bit on the treadmill. We'll see. The running in the evening has been killing me. Not like mentally, but physically, it kind of sucks. It's not hard. Well, actually, it is hard. It sucks. It feels like my legs want to fall off and I'm running 1 mile. But I think that's just because I hit my leg day so hard. I think that it's not like I could run probably 2 miles by default. I ran so much when I was younger that 2 miles, I got 2 miles in the tank at all times. But after a leg day, after squatting 315 for a bunch, and your legs already want to fall off, and then you try to run on top of that, bruh, that shit hurts. So, anyway, we are at the gym. I'm gonna down my pre-workout, give it a couple seconds to kick in, and then we're gonna get into this shit.
I got asked yesterday by somebody. They said, Holden, You're strong. Can you do a muscle up? And a single tear ran down my face. Not something I've picked up yet, but it would be cool someday to be able to do. This shit is like a completely metal frame. It weighs like 500 pounds or something, for sure. So, don't do what I did and stick 445s on the machine. You're not gonna be happy that you did that. I was gonna do just some seated curls, but all the benches are taken, so rather than sit there for an hour, I would rather do something else. Do something maybe I was gonna do later. Just do it now. Yeah, I got a little tenderness going on in my left elbow. Which kind of sucks. But, you know, as long as I'm taking it slow, pausing at the bottom, I'm not really worried. It just hurts. It makes it uncomfortable. All right. Oh. Oh. I think I'm gonna superset my last set of bicep curls with the upright rows. I just feel like that's gonna be what's best for me. Right? I'm taking both a little bit lighter. I'm almost there. So the easy bars are halfway across the gym. The issue with that, I don't want to walk that far. So much for the superset. Oh. Damn. I'm not a very veiny guy, but it's not too bad.
All right. Push day, or what am I saying? Pull day complete. I already started breaking into my protein shake here. Still tastes as terrible as always. Try not to complain about it every day. I'm gonna do this, I think, before I do the dextrose, just because it tastes better. Doesn't leave like a chemical plant that's been, sunk in radioactivity, kind of aftertaste in my mouth. That's kind of nice. But, youch. Where are the barbell back rows? Well, if you couldn't tell by my RDLs, I'm not exactly the most flexible person in the world. Still working on falling down, keeping my back straight, with the legs straight, keeping everything balanced. I tried them, 4 days ago, on the infamous pilot episode of this series, but I didn't love them quite as much as I was hoping I would. But it's not something I'm not trying to get better at. So I'm kind of working them in maybe once a week, or I guess 3 sets once a week. But like today I just kind of was feeling a little off. My left bicep tendon just does not feel great right now. So might have to adjust for that in the future. Maybe doing some like single arm curls just to make sure, because if you do anything in your regular life that activates one muscle more than the other consistently, like for example, when I play my instrument, I'm holding it up like this and most of the weight is in this arm, and I have a feeling that maybe that's putting a little bit of extra pressure on that muscle and that tendon. It just makes it weaker. So I'm probably gonna have to compensate for that by just doing a little less with that arm. Basically what I would do is if I'm doing like isometric, like isolation, like with one arm, I would do as many reps with like my left arm as I can, and then I would match that in my right arm. Eventually that helps to balance things out. Yeah, I was kind of planning for the future. Oh, it's great. All right, let's try not to make this a 19-minute segment of the episode. Not that it's gonna really bother anybody, because nobody's really watching it except for me. Although I don't really watch these parts back. These are just my rant sessions. When you're a personal trainer for a couple years and you work with people and you kind of see all the misconceptions that go on in the fitness world that are kind of demonstrated through social media, you get a lot of pent-up anger. And even though this is kind of a new series, and what gives this guy the right to, judge? What gives this guy the right to complain? Nothing really. The only thing that gives me the right to do it is that I'm making the video, I guess. But yeah, I think I like doing these just because it's a little bit, it's kind of nice to just share some of these ideas and these things that, I mean, other people are sharing. I mean, if you watch any other big name, they're also talking about these exact same things. You can't really go wrong with the people who are posting like really consistent, good information. I always will reference like Jeff Nippard, and you know, because he's always backed by science. You know, some of the science, like a lot of people are against the sciencey stuff. You know, you can do science backed lifting with high intensity. I don't think anybody's saying you can't do that. But yeah, talking about kind of the things that I'm thinking about is kind of nice. And someday I hope it's helpful. I mean, the thing is I'm not just, you know, spouting random stuff. I'm trying to talk about the things that I've learned and that the things I'm trying to continue to build on through my own research, you know, which I encourage you to do as well. I mean, I think it'd be crazy who said it? I guess it was Einstein. If you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, that's like insanity, especially if you're not getting good results. You know, I maybe you guys know the person who's you've seen him in the gym for years, always at the same time doing the same stuff, and after 4 years they don't look any different. Maybe it is that their goal is to just, you know, be there and be healthy, and honestly that's fine. But if that feels like if it feels like you've been in the gym for multiple years, but your goal isn't just to be there and not look any different, if you're trying to get big, if you're trying to get leaner or bulkier, any of that, and you've been doing it for a long time and you just aren't seeing results, then it's time for you to go down the rabbit hole of learning exactly what goes into bodybuilding and the science behind it. Because I promise you watch a couple videos by some of these, you know, more renowned science-based lifters, you are going to learn things that you didn't know, like every episode at least, and then you're going to think about your own training and you're going to be like, oh yeah, man, maybe I should be emphasizing the lengthened position, you know. Maybe I have just been, you know, focusing more on like the squeeze and not really going through a good range of motion. Maybe that's not helping me. You know, boom, you start doing that, you're going to start to see a little bit more growth. You're going to start learning more about the diet, and how, you know, if you know, maybe you're bulking, but you know your favorite food is salads, and you hate ranch or something, you know, and your protein is, you're getting 50 grams of protein a day. You know, you're going to start realizing that stuff the more you kind of dive into the world of, you know, the science behind everything. You know, maybe you're trying to bulk and you're putting on way too much fat, and you're like, but everybody says you just got to eat a ton. You know, then you kind of get into tracking your calories and tracking your macros, and it's like, oh, you know, actually the way I'm eating does reflect the way my body's changing. Oh, the way I'm lifting is reflecting how my body is changing. So yeah, all of that being said, that, yeah, I don't really, you know, people might, you know, hate some of the stuff that's being said. Everybody's going to be critical about anything, but, you know, take what you hear, you know, from whether it be me or from other people, and give it a shot. Think about it, digest it. Don't just accept what you see on social media as the norm. Most stuff is going to be either done to, you know, be flaunty. You know, you can't help it, but try to flaunt a little bit. It's just kind of part of the game, you know. Like, nobody steps on a bodybuilding stage trying to like be conservative. You know, they're all trying to show off their best physique You know, they're all trying to prove that they've trained the best. But what's best for you is different, you know, than the guy you see on Instagram who's got, 3 million followers. So you just have to be aware of that. Jeez. Dude, time flies. Time flies when you are having fun. I really need to get to this dextrose shake, but anyway, yeah, tomorrow, official rest day. I need one. You know, I'm starting to feel it, especially being on a lower carb diet than what I'm used to. Getting kind of tired. And I'll probably be staying up late tonight, because tonight I'll be in the Performance Hall. Wish me luck. I've got to record a bunch of orchestral excerpts for the Aspen Music Festival, as well as a couple solos. Crazy stuff. Not the most fun thing to do in the world, but sometimes it's nice to just get to play in a big area. I know this is not the target audience for that, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe this is the first ever music lifting page. Definitely not. I mean, maybe the first ever music lifting YouTube channel. That would be kind of cool. Imagine an audience full of bros and gals, but then you've got the other half of the audience being like nerdy trombone players who have never touched a weight in their life. Imagine those worlds colliding. It's kind of like the dichotomy of my day every day when I work out in the mornings and then I go to orchestra rehearsal. Two different worlds. But what they don't understand is that the mindset for both of those are the exact same. Practicing every day, working out every day, improving your high range, improving your strength, improving your flexibility, your stretching, improving your range of motion, all that stuff. It's all the same. It all boils down to discipline. But yeah, shout out my mom for waking up early and working out by herself this morning. That's the only reason I'm in the gym too. So pretty neat. Anyway, yeah, we'll see how the layout of these videos are gonna go. I kind of I'm taking it pretty serious. I don't think every video is gonna be exactly like this. I think there's gonna be maybe one of these a day, just to keep things consistent and flowing. But it'd be kind of fun to, because I'm a bit of a prankster, not really, jokester. So we'll try to make things a little bit more lighthearted in the future. I'm thinking, but I think that starts with this not being 12-minute rant sesh like it already is. So I'm gonna call it quits there, and yeah, I guess I'll figure out something for tomorrow. Yeah. Cool. Toodles.